Hi everyone, welcome to the weekend edition. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let's get into what's going on with Bitcoin really quick, along with some stories that we do have. So we'll take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum as well. They're kind of bouncing off the 50-week average. We'll look at that. And then we also have a story from Cointelegraph, which is basically Bitcoin traders call for calm as BTC price dips 10% in the week. And then we'll take a look at the miners, see how well they perform against Bitcoin this week, along with some other metrics that we do have here for the weekly. Okay, and that is it. As always, this is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. Invest in following coins and companies for full disclosure. And let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. But if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. All right, so here's Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is at 27,651. It's up about 1.46% on the day. And we can see here that it has basically bounced off of the 50-day moving average, which is good. We talked about this in yesterday's video as well. We said if this doesn't hold, we're probably coming down to possibly our 200 weekly moving average, which is right around 25,800 or so right now. But it has done a pretty good job holding steady here at the 50-day moving average, which is nice. So if we look at the 4-hour chart here, we can see that it has, for the most part, the past 1, 2, 3, about 4 hours, it's kind of hovered right around that line of the 50-day moving average, and it finally bounced above it. And we can also see it here on the 1-hour chart as well, where it bounced right on that line a little bit, went down below it a little bit here, but came back up. So that's good there. The only thing is I'm still waiting on a reversal here on the RSI. I'm not seeing anything that's telling me right now that we are going to continue to go up. Right now it's just kind of indecisive as it is. And the reason I want a reversal on this is so that I can say, okay, yeah, we finally bottomed out here possibly. We're going up. Right now the RSI is pretty high. It's at 56. Last time we were back here on it was way back over here. Price at that point was much higher than where it is right now. Even if we look at the smaller dips here, we can see at 37 here. Last time it was back here, price was still higher, so we still don't have the reversal where the RSI is the same, price is higher than the previous time around that same RSI level. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for on that one. So we'll see how Bitcoin continues to go this weekend. It's only midday Saturday right now. We still have Sunday to go through, and then we'll see what it does next week. But it definitely didn't have a good week here this past week. Now, if we look at Ethereum as well on the daily, we can see that it has also bounced off of the 50-day moving average as well. You can see here yesterday it bottomed out at it, bounced up above it, and it's been holding there pretty well so far. You can see here it bounced right around, what was it, about 11 o'clock yesterday at night, and it just continued to stay above it for the most part. So that's good there. On the 4-hour chart and the 1-hour chart, same thing. You can see that it touched it, bounced off of it, and it's been holding steady for a while here. Looking at the peaks here a little bit, we can see that on the 1-hour, on the 39 RSI, Ethereum was, well, it was, let me see here, from that one to that one, it's actually lower in price a little bit here. So I'm still looking to see if we can find something that would give us a clue for reversal, and I'm just not seeing it right now. So I think the possibility of us going down further is still there, and we may come down to possibly for Ethereum to the 200 weekly, no, not 200 weekly, 200 daily moving average, which is right here, the blue line. And we'll see if that also happens for Bitcoin. See where Bitcoin's 200 daily moving average line is pretty close to where it is for the, well, it's actually below the weekly moving average, 200 weekly moving average. So the red line is the 200 weekly moving average. The blue line right there is kind of where our support is, previous support at 23,800. So if Bitcoin doesn't hold here right at the 50 moving day average, it's going to go down possibly to the 200 weekly moving average, okay? So that's kind of where we're holding things on right now, but we'll see how things progress, okay? Let's take a look at our first story that we do have here, and then we'll get into the Bitcoin versus the miners for this week, performance-wise, and here we go. So Bitcoin traders call for a calm as BTC price slips 10% in a week. So Bitcoin is seeing a logical and healthy pullback, say commentators, with 25,000 now a key BTC price line in the sand. And I can agree with that. I think it's a little bit higher than that, probably around 25,800. Is where we have our support line that we've had before, but we still got to go through, obviously, the 200 weekly moving average possibly is our next support as well, and then below that would be our 25,800 mark as well. Okay, here's what they had to say down here. So giant RSI support retest greets Bitcoin bulls. So in contrast to United States equities, which managed to seal modest gains on April 22nd, Bitcoin continued to suffer as analysts warned of return towards 25,000. With that, BTC USD was down 10% for the week and 4% in April overall. So according to data from monitoring resource CoinGlass, amid a dramatic turnaround in fortune versus much of Q1. So if we look at the monthly returns here so far for Bitcoin, we're still, well, we're almost through April right now, but we're down about 4% right now in April as it is. You can see it here on this chart. And historically, April has been kind of a mixed bag for us as far as returns are concerned. We've had 6 times where it was in the green, and now we're looking like we have about 5 times where we are possibly going to be in the red. We still have about a week to go, so this could change, but right now it's looking like a little bit in the red. Okay, so historically, it's been more green than red, but we'll see how this one plays out. Then when we get into May, we've had only 5 days where it's, or 5 months, going back to 2013 where it was in the green, and then we had also 5 where it was in the red. So half and half. That one's going to be kind of split to where either way it could go. And then June has typically been a little bit more of a green month. We'll see if that continues on. But from there, we'll see how things progress. Usually July is pretty good. August is pretty bad for us. September really bad also. And then we finally get into October, which is typically really good for us, along with November, and then December is half and half, looks like right now, a little bit more on the red side. So we still have a couple more months where things could get better, but it is going to be choppy, and I think it's going to be slow progress going up. I still think Bitcoin could get to around 40,000 by the end of the year, right around there, but we'll see how it's going to play out. Okay, continue on here. So for popular trader Credible Crypto, however, there was still every reason to hope that the long-term uptrend remained intact. If your macro thesis on Bitcoin has changed because of a 2,000 pullback after a 10,000 vertical rally from 19,000 to 30,000, and you're doing it wrong, he insisted in a part of his latest tweet commentary, and I agree with that. We need a little bit of a healthy pullback each time we have these nice run-ups. So this was kind of expected. I was counting on this to happen, and it finally did. It took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take, but we finally got it. In addition, an additional post, he argued that such price action is common in crypto markets, and I agree with that as well. We have seen this before many, many times. I've been in this crypto space since basically 2017, and we've seen it plenty of times before, even in bull runs, and more so in obviously bear markets, but we've seen this in bull runs for sure. The last major retest we had was at 19,000 before our rally to 30,000, plus a retest of 25,000 here would be logical and healthy, he stated, which I tend to agree here, but I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more than that, around 25,800, like I said before. You can see here we've had a nice rally here and potentially going up much higher. So he's got us going up to potentially over, well, close to 40,000. He's got a 41 something potentially by July. We'll see if that happens. I'm saying 40,000 maybe by the end of the year, and then as we get closer into the halving event next year, that's when I really expect Bitcoin to really go up from there, and after the halving event, which we possibly might get as close to between 150 to 200,000 in Bitcoin before it's all said and done, if not a little bit higher, depending on the FOMO that we get into the market. Okay, so that's it for that one. We'll keep an eye on it, obviously, see what happens with Bitcoin here. And let's take a look at Bitcoin versus the miners for the past week. And on these charts, as always, you guys know that these are basically, the green bars are how far the miners are up from their 52-week lows, and the red bars are how far down they are from their 52-week highs still. Okay, a lot of the miners here pretty much bottomed out in beginning of January and then late December as well. So only going back, what is that now, going to be about 4 months worth of numbers here. So this is kind of when they bottomed out at that point. So you can see core is up the most at 782%, and they bottomed out at like 4 cents or something like that because of bankruptcy. And then we got Cypher. Cypher's had a really nice run here as well, up 491% here when they bottomed out. DigiHost up also 416%. Argo up 300. Iris up 289. BitDigital up 237. Ride up 223. Marathon up 187. Mawson up 177. Bitfarms up 176. TeraWolf up 168. Hive up 137. DMG up 133. CleanSpark is up 122. Hut 8 is up 116. Sphere is up 81. And Bitcoin is up only 74, almost 75% from when it bottomed out. So we are starting to see more and more of that multiplying effect here to the miners, especially some of these guys over here than some of these over here, but we're still getting close to that 2x at least, or normally we get 2 to 5x on the miners' performance based on where Bitcoin goes up in price. Now, as far as how far they are still down from their 52-week highs, you can see Core is still way down, 94% from where they were. Cypher's only 32% away, so they're getting pretty close to where they were before. DigiHost is only 42%. Argo is still quite a ways out, 83% down. Iris is down 65%. BitDigital is pretty close to where they were at the top here at 23%. Riot is at 27% away. Marathon is 52%, so they still have a ways to go. Mawson's still quite a ways out, 87% away from their 52-week high. And then Bitfarms is at 67%, Turf at 69%, Hive at 61%, DMG at 50%, CleanSpark at 52%, Hut at 57%, Sphere at 75%, and Bitcoin is only 33% away from its previous 52-week high here. So that would be going back to last year, roughly around this time where it was. Okay, so that's kind of how those things shape up. Let's take a look at how the weekly performance stacks up here on the miners against Bitcoin. And we can see here on the weekly chart that Bitcoin was kind of in the middle here as far as performance-wise. It was down 10.53% on the week. So we do have some miners that were better, and then we have some miners that were worse. For the most part, we had more worse performance than we did have better performance. So the ones that did better are BitDigital was only down 8.67, DMG was down 8.2, CleanSpark was down 6.3, Argo down 4, Mawson down 3.95, Sphere was down 3.23, and TeraWolf was actually up 0.69% on the week, so up slightly here. Bitcoin, let's see here, down 10.53, Iris was down 12, DigiHost was down 15, Bitfarms was down 16, Hive was down 20, Hut 8 was down 20, Riot was down 21, Core was down 22, Cypher was down 22, and Marathon was down 25 on the 1 week. Let's take a look at the 4 week really quick as well. And we can see on the 4 week, let's see, where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin is over here. So Bitcoin's down 4.22% on the 4 weeks. So the ones that did worse are Hut 8 is down 8.65, Argo is down 13.77%. And then we got DigiHost up only 3.6, or down 3.6, Cypher's down 3, DMG's down 2.6, Hive is down 1.8, and we got Mawson up almost 2%, Marathon up 2.4, Riot up 5.3, Bitfarms up 7.2, BitDigital up 16.2, Core up 19, Sphere up 19.6, Iris is up 29, CleanSpark 39.2, and TeraWolf up 54.2 as well. So those guys have done better than Bitcoin here. And let's take a look at the 8 weeks as well. Let's see here. Descending, and there we go. Oh, too far. 8 weeks. So on the 8 weeks, we can see here where's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is over here at 21%, almost 22% up. The following companies have done worse. So Bitfarms is only up 18%, Hive is up 17, Sphere is up 12, Hut is up 8, DMG is up 4, and then you got Core down 1%, along with Argo down 11%. So Argo's done the worst here out of the bunch so far. And the ones that did better are DigiHost up 24, Mawson up 29, Marathon up 39, Cypher up 40, BitDigital up 44, CleanSpark up 51, Iris up 51 as well, Riot up 65, and TeraWolf up 123. So TeraWolf has had a really good run here in the last 8 weeks. Let's see how the 12 weeks stack up as well. So in the 12 weeks, we can see here that now we have Bitcoin up almost 16.32%. So the following companies have done worse, which would be BitDigital, only up 12.5, Core up 10, CleanSpark up 10, Sphere up only 1.45, and then we got Bitfarms actually down 1.89, Mawson down 7.6, DigiHost down 11.1, DMG down 11.4, Hive down 14, Hut down 23.5, Argo down 26.9, and the ones that did better are Cypher up 22.8, Marathon up 26.31, Riot is up 53.8, Iris is up 76.8, and TeraWolf again up 113% from 12 weeks ago. So the best performing one right now has been TeraWolf. From 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 4 weeks, they've definitely done the best job here growing. And then when we look at the data over here, we can see here that this past week has been obviously a pretty red week for everybody here except for Wolf. And then the prior week to that, we had a very nice green week here for everybody. That was good to see. And then going back even 1 week further, we had a red week. Then we had 3 weeks where we were kind of in the green, a little bit mixed here in the red as well. But prior to that, we had 3 weeks in the red, 1 week in the green. And then prior to that, 1 week in the red. And then we had about 4 weeks, beginning of January, where we were just all in the green. So we're kind of seeing this little back and forth a little bit. Right now, I'm seeing maybe a little bit of a pattern developing here. We had 4 weeks in the green, 1 red, 1 green, 3 red, 3 green. Then we had 1 red, 1 green, 1 red. I'm hoping that next week we'll have possibly going into another 2 to 3 weeks of green, but we'll see if that develops that way. Okay, so that is it. Pretty easy, simple, forward. Not much to talk about else is going on. We'll see what else we can talk about possibly in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's videos might be just I may do the short clip videos out for tomorrow for some of the things that we talked about earlier this week that we covered. Those will be going out tomorrow for sure. But then we'll also see if there's anything else that's interesting. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.